Okay, so one of the projects that you gave us for this year as well was the renewal of our guidelines for developmental cooperation work. And the background here is that the current government of Finland made a cut of about 40% to the allowance of developmental cooperation in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Finland, which of course places a huge pressure on basically all of the developmental cooperation organizations in Finland to somehow renew or reduce their operations, and that's also been affecting us. We had a working group that started their work in the spring that also had some representatives from the student unions, and they've been looking at the different possibilities for SUL developmental cooperation in the future. They looked at a couple of options, and now we've actually come up with a proposition that has quite a clear direction for you guys, and that's the document that you're going to be commenting now. So basically we're proposing three things. The first of which is that SUL and those student unions that are willing and interested do common projects in developmental cooperation in the future years. So basically the idea is to tighten the way that we cooperate and pool our resources to the furthest extent possible. So SUL would be kind of a coordinating actor, and then we could have different student unions with like varying resources and varying inputs taking part in those projects. The second proposition that we're putting forth is that in these projects that we're doing in foreign countries together, we take a special focus in student advocacy and strengthening the way that student advocacy in those countries is done. And the reason for this is that, of course, this is a field that we have a lot of expertise in. The Finnish system of student advocacy and student influencing is quite unique in the world, and we feel that that's a resource that we can share with other countries and other students in other countries as well. And the third proposition that the board has decided on is developing the Developmental Cooperation Week, the concept of the DevCo Week, to be more relevant from the perspective of working life, and also to kind of try to engage a larger pool of students. So one of the ideas here is to build a week where students from different fields could see the connection points of their own field of study and issues of global responsibility. You're going to be, or you have been given three documents, one of which is the one that I'm holding here, that has the guidelines in a very concise form. And then there's also one background document that kind of explains the process by which we've come to this point. And then there's a third document that has some kind of ideas about how funding of these projects could be done in the future, now that the role of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is going to be smaller than in the past. But yeah, so the most important thing that you can do when commenting this document is to look at these three propositions that we're putting forth here in the beginning, and looking at those ideas and seeing if they match your idea of how developmental cooperation of students should be developed.